Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Oh, uya matinyina. Yeah, so uya. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Yeah. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Say, I call you Jireh, say. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William Ingram, come here. 1, 2, 3. I can breathe without you, say. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move without you. Hey, who am I without you? Who am I without you? Say, I can live without you.
Yo, etiefo ni ahwefo mema obi biara akwa aba eba ye dwumadie so dwuma a yato ne den se legal hour every himfa every BWF Solicitors aso eye every Friday biara omo de betu dwa de ma amansan nyinara a ewo kromu ha ene baby foforo na omo hu ne ekọ ewo mre mu mmara bɛn no mmara titiri a ɛfa immigration ho ɛfa family law ho ɛfa litigations ho ɛne even mitigations ɛne mpo yɛn kurom Ghana law, that is what I'm talking about. Legal matters and legal issues concerning our community or people within the community. So every Friday, BWF Solicitors etu anamon say yembra na yemfa saa dwumadie yi mbeto dwa na yenkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma a ɛrekɔ to give the update of whatever it is within the home office. What issues are they bringing about? What new policies are they implementing, and so on and so forth. Until today, if you are here this morning to join me, I'll be glad if you stick and stay from now on until 11 o'clock sharp, where we will digest a lot of things, a lot of issues concerning our legal life in this country. Medamu nyinaa ase na ene mede nkyia kɛseɛ ɛma obi biara a waba fidie yi so nkyia ɛnkɔ ɛma wo. Me nua titiriw ɛyɛ yi nua ba Teleduma ekua anima na nasopɔn Abigail Osemensa abena obene wa pineapple Loop, I see Loop, yeah, Pinzo, Ezekiel Johnson, Boba Sari, Fred Amwa, Kwadwo Chese mo dɔɔso yie, mo nyinaa mombɛka me ho, na yɛmfa dwumadie nhyɛ ase mfiri ha, yɛbɛbɔ no 11 ne pɛpɛɛpɛ, na kyerɛ sɛ yɛde dwumadie no aba awieeɛ. Meda mo ase, ɛnɛ me resource person a mewɔ ɛyɛ mmea, me maame, me nuabaa panin, me sister prɛko pɛ, lawyer Eunice. Ano na ɛnɛ yɛne ne ba bɛdi dwuma na ɔba bɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn topic a yɛde ba bɛto dwa. Mohwɛ platform no so a mobɛhu topic no wɔ hɔ, but menya nka ho asɛm no. Mɛma ɔde nkyea kɛseɛ ɛba abɛto dwa na afei deɛ ɔkyea obi biara ahwɛfoɔ no a etiefoɔ nyinaa na afei nea ɛwɔ hɔ no na mede abɛto dwa na yɛtumi ebiebie so. Nti Lawyer Eunice mema wakɔ aba ɛbɛ dwumadie so. A very special morning to you. Today being the last day of February, 28th February, no, I believe say whatever wishes and desires we had, and now we pledge during the beginning of the month, you know, and then we can testify, say at least say we may have experienced maybe 80 to 90% of it. Maybe I will say so. Into say one so sa say oh yeah dear.
Nyame adom, me ho yɛ paa. And I believe say nyame adom also ho yɛ.
Sa sa.
Um, yɛda nyame ase.
Okay, cheer for na hwefo na afide mfa edwumadie na nso so.
Fakyɛ yo. Nti etiefo ne ahwɛfo yɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ ɛndɛ da yi mo abɛka yɛn nsa. Yɛma mo nyinaa a very very good morning. Me hope sɛ mo nyinaa mo ho yɛ. Mo ne mo abusuafo nyinaa mo ho yɛ. And there being the last day in February, as my kind, we are just looking forward to the new month of March. I know, say, I feel no, as I see, very, very. I mean, a few weeks ago, but we are now in our going into our third month now. And see, let's hope and pray that the year will continue to go well and we'll see good things come through the year. Yeah, every week I say Emma a few updates. Emma it's if on your who the echo. This week, yeah, shada any updates titri bia, but the America afa yeah applications in regards to Nkofua or more yeah visitors visas applications especially. Sɛ moyɛ applications for visitors visa na monim sɛ I me application na mepɛ sɛ meyɛ yi mepɛ sɛ mebɛsra me busuani for this period of time. So oh yeah, you have to make it clear sɛ wobɛsra wo busuani sɛ ɛyɛ wo kunu anaasɛ wo ba anaasɛ wo sister anaasɛ wo brother. You have to make it very clear sɛ wobɛsra saa nimpa wei. And most importantly, the whole point of visitors visa is to me actually say you are in a genuine um
Yeah,
way.
then you
You're a
sit.
genuine visitor. Opese westra UK now assign which akọ back. Until they want to know the ties that you have in terms of their way with fear, say yeah business or say one kasa wo ye juma na one kasa will keep you records of all the invoices and all those other things that you use for your business. No, they want to know. So we adwuma mo bi nso so a they want to see evidence of wo employment no. Sɛ wo ka sɛ ebi a unhyɛ da nyɛ adwuma wo ba no ɛna ɛhwɛ wo because woyɛ nana, then of course they want to see evidence say they are keeping you. So one and a show of course you can show evidence that we won ba Ghana one and so Ghana or show and so on and so forth. The whole point is for them to see the ties that you have back home. Send your who say any idea obetna UK chrome ha. Time and time again you have people who ask, oh, ebi me pese mema nipa weba ɔnhyɛ dɛ nni sika biara me na me maintain no me accommodate no me ma no invitation letter ne biribia. Of course you can do all of that, but sɛ nipa na ɔreba no ne evidence ɛntumi ɛnkyerɛ sɛ ɔyɛ genuine visitor a ɔbɛsan n'akyi akɔ back deɛ a ɛndeɛ ɛnyɛ likely sɛ wɔde visitors visa no ebema saa nipa korɔ no. And the reason why me boss say so to me say wobɛsra w'abusuani no is so that at least if it's a family member in particular, ɔmo bɛhu sɛ ampa w'abusuani nie ebia wohu no akyɛ ntaa ɛnsra no nti ɛyɛ sɛ ɔno nso ɛbɛsra wo wɔ UK kurom ha anaa korampo akɔyɛ nana no ɔbɛsra ne nananom nti ɔpɛ sɛ at least ɔbɛhwɛ wɔn anim kakra na ɔsan kɔ back nti ɛno nso saa no nso they see it as oh ɛho hia paa sɛ ɔmo nana no ɛbɛtumi abɛsra ɔmo. It's very important in terms of family life, and I've seen time and time again they say as long as you are able to show the relationship and you are able to also show say what ties Ghana is such that umbetna UK krom how sign with then they are more likely to be convinced that when you be a UK krom ha. And you have those who come and then maybe they have multiple visas of 2 years and I say 5 years. And when it comes to those multiple visas, no, obviously there's no law that says that you can't come here frequently, but their caseworker no and I say home office border force ne immigration officers no the ɔmo tell who ne say so obi wɔ multiple visa na ɔtaa aba hanom dia it means say ɔpɛ sɛ ɔbɛtena UK kurom ha nti ɔmo de ahyɛ ɔmo guidance no mu sɛ at least sɛ yɛma wo multiple visa koraa mpo no at least you should come and stay for 6 months within a 12-month period. Nti ebia wobaeɛ no wabɛdi wo 6 months all sign with she akɔ back asan aba bio. Obviously you know say there's no law that prevents you from doing so, but just because if you can see on phone so ata who said that is a trend, they also put it in their guidance so that people will be aware say if you are coming frequently to come and stay there, then it means say oh person UK chrome ha or chrome. And so they are very careful about it. Oh, you'll be a yama multiple visa not all taba. I'm sure say you would have met immigration officers at the airport who will bring your mind to it say, yeah na no ya na obaye. Wasaya babium. I masaya babium. And so they know this and they will sort of give you a caution just so that you are aware, say, they are going to be keeping tabs on you if, for instance, you come more than the period of time omode ama ono. So it's very, very important say at least so when you have multiple visa no crown pona, you try and stick to the 6 months and then obviously the following 12 months you come again for the 6 months. So omunim say omo the visa normal, but they also want to make sure say also obedi omo mbra so na one be ma UK and be ye kruma over
Correct.
yes, so it's very, very important in terms of multiple visa. And then also you have people who want to come, for instance, because they are just giving them invitation for work conference or an event. Omono sano, omo no a permitted paid visa under the visit visa um, appendix. In Zenono Sano, those category of peoples they have to be able to show say because of adwuma way ɛno nti na ɔmo ba nti ebia ɔmo yɛ guest speaker for a conference anaasɛ ɔmo yɛ event celebrity ana artist anaasɛ biribi saa so they are coming specifically for this event and they have to have evidence from the company that's inviting them no and evidence to show say this is the event that is taking place and now this is the conference that is taking place that they are coming to obviously be a guest
Yeah.
at in Tianono Sano because they have those requirements set no so by you have to be able to show evidence because it's a permitted event for maybe a few days and now say a few hours Nancy you are coming specifically for this event now me to me I share with documentation no it to me I'm permitted paid visitor. It is very, very important say yɛhu sɛ a permitted paid visa is completely different from a normal visitor's visa, because normal visitor's visa not there. One of the conditions say you cannot work until you
Mm.
have to be able to make sure say ubedi imbrano. So as long as you are here as a visitor, you are not allowed to work or even to study unless oba on a short study visa, and also a completely different on the visitors visa,
Wow. Mm.
because waka sɛ wobɛyɛ short study nti ɛno no sa no ɔmo bɛma ama wo enya some confirmation from the school, say this is the course you're about to take and this course is running from this time to this time, and you are showing evidence of the course and the confirmation sɛ ɔmo ama wo ɛkwan sɛ sɛ wobɛyɛ saa course wei ansa na ɔmo de saa short term study visa no nso ama wo. So there are very, very specific rules when it comes to visitors visa, and you have to know what you are applying for in order to make that application. No, it is very, very important. Say, and for a mobile visitors visa, there's no permit that allows you to work or to study unless you're applying specifically for that sort of visa. Into wake kakra and I'm a person it's here for ehu. Secondly, I was
Mm-hmm.
also going to say something very, very brief in terms of the e-visa. I know say a bit more they are they've got the stamp, wet ink stamp, mo passport mu, ebia omunya embedru UK Chrome ha because omo call back and forth from here to Ghana. Into pam bebre. So oh yes, sir, NTL no time limits application for e-visa na dia, you are required to take a biometric into who here say obewo UK Chrome ha to make that application and then take your biometric as well. Unfortunately, no, those people are not under the category of no more biometric cards now over to me are I hear application easily online in say more stamp and as a wet ink way documents no in your passport no, it's important say some more yes NTL application now more UK Chrome has send your move to me so I hear biometric appointments no so into wake a crana me per se it's here for nature for
Na Eunice, sɛ home office foɔ na ɔmo te mu ɔden. Sɛ woaba ha as a visitor, ɛyɛ ama wo 6 months, but wonkyɛ, wobɛdi bɛn bi a 1 month pɛ no akɔ. And then you come across maybe a conference bi a in line with maybe what you do back home. Nti no, you decide is, oh, this conference nka mekɔ bi a ɛbɛboa me paa no. Must you go back and obtain another visa back home? Say, oh, be back conference now, no mama. And I say you can just register the conference now. Okay. Oh, yes, I'm sure. Would this affect your future visa application?
if you're coming for a conference, as in you are going to sit down as one of the observants or participants who are not actually guest speakers or not necessarily the main show person
Yeah,
or the main man
mm,
of the
yeah,
show, then
yeah.
obviously, like I said, of course, you can attend the conference because it's not something that you are working. It's not like you are coming to study. It's just a
Mm,
conference that you want to participate in. Into
mm,
sa next year there, then that's fine. It's obviously different if you are coming to take part as the main speaker or a guest on the
mm,
program, because with Enono Sano, they usually give you some sort of remuneration. Into they expect, say, if that is the case, you would have to have applied for a permitted paid
mm,
visa rather than just coming on a normal visitor's visa. Into
mm,
Enono Sano, that's when you would have to obviously go back and apply for the right visa, just because you don't want them to find evidence in your belongings. Say you went for an event as a guest speaker and you are now leaving the UK.
mm. I know the area and I had dream because I have a very good friend, or by or yeah, international events near there. But in this case, the person came as a normal visitor, just obe holiday be obejina home for 2 weeks be na oko. Now obaye no, I mean terms of communication, the events now okuko oko worldwide no, they got to know say waba UK. Enti they intentionally na organize bibi na ombema speak, ombe kasa wo ho. So ho ade
Mm,
no. Now
mm,
no so feel say o ebe folly outside or no specific time or person ka or spend wa ha no.
mm, mm.
Enti no ɔyɛ sɛ okay ɛnyɛ hwee ɔbɛkɔ na but ɔyɛ key person a ɔno na they intentionally organize the event because of them knowing say ɔwɔ UK ha.
Okay,
I
okay.
hope you understand me.
Yes, yes,
Nti
yes.
ɛno saa no, it's not an exceptional way. Also, tried to come a home office say, yeah, I plan staying, even though I was 6 months visa, I plan staying for a 2 weeks because that's what I specify in my distant immigration entrance, you know. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the case, say, with my presence in the UK, you know, this group of people, which is widely known, inviting me for a keynote address because of something may in the governmental sector.
Oh,
Into
okay.
how will he must he go back home and then apply again? And I say, I'm just saying, it's
Mm,
something that
mm,
has just happened. Into
mm.
me, just because of
Yeah,
education now. Am I NCC based on the visitors visa and paid visa no, and it's
yeah.
not me at this senior bay affecting the future applications in case baby
Yeah.
sa to me abanisa.
I mean, if she was coming with the intention, say she's just a normal visitor coming to
Mm,
rest, now assign the chair go back there, then of
mm,
course this falls outside the remit because she's not
okay.
allowed to work on a
Yeah.
normal visitor's visa. She's not allowed to study on a
Mm,
normal visitor's visa. It's all part of the conditions they give when
okay.
Omuma was a visitor's visa no. Nti nkurɔfoɔ no a wɔbɛtumi ayɛ adwuma kakra anaasɛ wɔbɛtumi asua adeɛ kakra ɛyɛ nkurɔfoɔ a wɔayɛ specific in their application sɛ wɔreba
Okay.
for that permitted paid event.
Mm,
Nti because of that ne nti ɛna wɔreba, and you will
okay.
need to show evidence that you have a letter from that company that they are inviting you for
Mm,
that event
event.
specifically.
Mm,
Yes, with a brochure, I mean, something that shows that
okay.
the event is holding on so and so date at so and so place, and the
Mm,
rest of the details. But it's very important, say, you stick to the conditions on the visa because it's likely says almost finding out,
mm.
then it also hinders you from getting
That,
another visa. Yes, next time when you want to come. And see, is I think say unfortunately no, they know that she's here, but she's not on that permitted paid visa. So
mm,
I
mm,
would rather that she would reapply and then
mm.
get that instead of just going ahead to go
Attend the
ahead with the
conference now.
program. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Mm. That's good to know because nka we di nim nka kwa no no ja oh so be man ntekwa kakra so hu ade no enti no yo me that's like Eunice for the updates. I'm so glad say this when it comes to visa issues now if you don't know the right thing sometimes now or you may think you know the right thing so be na ya bounce so now if you are now better wa in case if person too quiet, you want to attend a visit anywhere, especially in the UK here. Now during the application away now no feeling no. What do you want to share them who how you should do it? Don't hesitate. Fakoma BWF solicitors for Omo Accra, Omo branch wa Accra. They can go through with you, make sure say how you are applying the visitors visa, what you need to do, how you need to do it, and even when to do it. Ne nyinaa wobɛtumi advice one as simple do it for you, just with a little bit of fee, you know. I believe so. Moyɛ ne saa yɛmba so, but ɛyɛ na yɛnim nso. Of course, that's the reason why we educate people on various issues. But sometimes leave it to the expert. Na ɔmo yɛ ɔmo adwuma because ɔmo no ɔmo use guidelines na ɛyɛ hardly sɛ yɛbɛhwɛ guidelines na ɔmo answer pɛpɛɛpɛ na yɛaka sɛ daabi still yɛmfa ama ɛno mu no ɛtaa nsi sorry ɛntaa nsi ɛyɛ rare occasions ɛna ɛtumi ɛba ne saa so That is it. Thank you so much, Leah Eunice. And then topic I beka board, so I'll go over. But then meanwhile, special greetings to all those on board. Mini abema na najiman. Nyame shroud. That me who say who dear sabi pa na najiman no. Sandra Fraser, I'll say good morning. All please share when you join. Thank you, Citizen Kwejo. Good morning, Ejo. So Sandra, the atoso, all the yeah, kind of information that you will need in case you want to visit BWF Solicitors or more Australia. And the lawyers that you can contact, we have all the contact details there. If you have any issue at all, please. Sika kakra kɔ na yɛnhwɛ ma wo, because some of the applications we know, so yes, we can do it. Every application from home office no online, yes, but sometimes na yɛ a na ɔmo de catch ka nketenkete meka catch ya na kyerɛ sɛ nneɛma nketenkete bi a ɛhinta wɔ application mu a wo no woyɛ no wonhyɛ da ehu. But lawyers ne deɛ ɔmo kita forensic eye ne ɔmo pen ne ɔmo note ne nti no sɛnea application ne ti biara no ɔmo use ɔmo lenses na ɔmo de hwɛ mu a they can see every details that needed to be filled na ɔmo ayɛ na ɛkɔ ɛne nti na ɔmo wɔ hɔ no yɛnkɔ so ɛ lawyer Eunice mɛsan ma wakɔ aba ɛnɛ yɛbɛka about say me wɔ limited leave to remain in the UK. Na me pɛ me kɔfa me ba ɛde ba. Ɛtɔ de bi a limited leave na kyerɛ sɛ wo nan ɛnhyɛ da ɛntintim UK abɔnten so na kyerɛ sɛ wɔn mu yɛ mark wo time anaasɛ egu so a yɛma wo tot meka tot a na kyerɛ sɛ especially people on 2.5 saa until they get 10 years before they obtain their indefinite leave to remain. Saa na ɛnɛ yɛbɛka no sɛ ebia wowɔ limited na kyerɛ sɛ limited no yɛnya ama wo afebɔɔ a wobɛtumi de atena kurom a limited leave to remain nansi ampo na mehu sɛ wowɔ limited leave to remain koraa na biribi bɔne bi anaasɛ biribi a yɛtumi san wo sɛ kɔ because wo mu nhyɛ da nni fully asetena ɛwɔ kurom a menim da sɛ na home office tumi yɛ saa but yɛnka sɛ ɛmba ne saa ɛmma obi nti no ɛnɛ sɛ bia ɛno bi na wokora wasetena na ɛwɔ kurom ha no ɛtɔ ɛnhyɛ da anyɛ afebɔɔ saa na mepa akyerɛ ɛtɔ kakra ɛnti na ɛsɛ limited na ɛnyɛ baabia na wotumi rekyi na yɛde ama wo no wo nso so wɔ mma ɛwɔ Ghana. You have children maybe back home. It could be Nigeria, it could be Sierra Leone, it could be any of our neighboring countries, no? And you want to go and then bring your child. Can you having a limited leave to remain, can you use this status to apply for your child back home to join you? And this is my question. Maybe Lawyer Eunice said, ubetumi aye, and say, any so until you get the indefinite leave before you can do that. Lawyer Eunice, mesa tunsa edia fro biom. Yama me limited leave to remain in the UK. Me kwala anamwa kwala. It could be a child, it could be children. I want to bring them. I want them to join me. Let me use the right words. I want them to join me in the UK. Can I do that?
Yes.
Aroma.
That's right, of course. The answer to that question is yes. There are different categories of Nkofo Omowo limited leave to remain. Say a share your immigration rules now. Visa routes not there a whole drop of you have those on the family routes, you have those on skilled worker routes, you have those on students routes, you have those who could even come specifically on those other work routes like innovator, startup, um, global talent. So there are a whole host of visa routes are yan can say omoma limited leave to remain. But and then specifically no yeah share nkofo a omo family roots no so nkofo a omo family roots either say omo ewo ba or you're British and I say ba okita indefinite normal enya asetena no through that child and I say omo ekunu ana eyere ewo UK chrome ha either say omo ekunu anaasɛ yere a ɔyɛ British anaasɛ ɔyɛ settled no na ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo de ɔmo ba ɛba UK kurom ha. You also have even those under the EU routes who now also have limited leave to remain. And so they also now have come under Appendix FM as well. And see, those category of people also fall under Appendix FM and as a family roots applications now. And see, we'll look at those as well. And so when it comes specifically to uh obi a yɛka ne sɛ ɔyɛ akwaraa, hwan ne akwaraa? Well, in different countries there are different should I say descriptions of obi a ɔyɛ akwaraa. Nti UK kurom ha sɛ yɛhwɛ yɛ immigration mbrɛ no mu a, just specifically for immigration purposes then yɛbɛka sɛ akwaraa ɛyɛ obi a wedi under 18 nti from 0 to 17 say saa nipa no ɛyɛ akwaraa. Nti woka sɛ wokɔfa wo ba aba a, they are looking at somebody between the ages of 0 to 17 a wɔkyerɛ sɛ saa nipa wei ɛyɛ wo ba. Nti most of the time we show evidence of relationship by way of birth certificates. Usually normal say wako register akwaraa no after some years of the child's birth then it means say akwaraa no birth certificate no is likely to not be a genuine one. Almost on my research and as American for no na my research and patch say yeah birth certificates no no years after the child's birth no it be me and share that any genuine because afre registries no it be some sometimes any records no so into most likely no drain say those birth certificates which were years after the birth of the child no are not genuine because they have evidence say there are also those birth certificates are and for a year within a few months of the child's birth and now within a few weeks of the child's birth. Into why is it that obi or kunya no a few years after? Of course, no, most of them would not have had a birth certificate because ebi no more our for example any said they needed a birth certificate. Into bibi no they would have had to go and get a birth certificate years after. Into the law also permits the law in Ghana PNDC law no also permits for that in terms of the fact say so to me say documentation ever say oh ABI wawoda no omo anhyɛ da and recorded but ABI omo bo nsu into who baptismal certificate say saa da we na ye wo and now crampo say wo mama no papa ɔmo ɛwo no na ɔmo nso ɛwɔ clinic bi a ɔmo ɛbɛn ɔmo nso nti ebia clinic no ɛma o some antenatal notes anaasɛ biribi a ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ saa da wei ɛna yɛde wo ɛwɔ saa clinic hɔ or there must be some form of other photographic evidence ebia time na yɛwo no na ɔmo wɔ cameras na ɛtwa dates no ɛwɔ photo no ase nti ɛno nso ɛbɛtumi akyerɛ biribi saa. There must be something for them to be able to go by to show say I am pa saa da wei ɛna yɛwɔ wo nti yɛ register wo aboda no on this date nti ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ mbra no ɛwɔ Ghana ɛma ho kwan. But when it comes to obi a ɔyɛ under the age of 18 dear, very recent into most of the time you would have had to go to a hospital and say so wo fie cramp na you would still need to go and record the birth of the child because within a few hours and I said days no you should be able to show say I akola no me wo no saa day we into me pese menya ne birth certificate IHS say saa date we and me de wo no because now we've improved your system not so much in Ghana and it's very important say as much as possible say one who hospital crampona you will be able to record these things senya at least ebeboa akwala no crampo say or go school and so kunya passport and so kunya baby crampo no birth certificates no in here senya only to me aya ayɛ saa nneɛma wei. So once you are able to show evidence of relationship, no, you can go ahead and say, okay, sisi ade metumi akyerɛ sɛ wei yɛ me ba, ɔyɛ under the age of 18. Then pɔtee ɛna mehia ɛde akyerɛ efikɛseɛmfo ne sɛ me ba wei ɛho hia paa sɛ mede ne bɛba UK kurom ha. So ebia yama wo 2.5 na wote UK kurom ha as a parent of a child who is British. Na unim sɛ ebia woba no na ɛsɛ wogya wo mba 2 ɛwɔ fie ansa na waba because ɛho hia paa sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ deɛ ɛsɛ woyɛ ansa na wakɔfa nkɔlaa no abɛka wo ho ɛwɔ UK kurom ha. Mbra no under the immigration rules sɛ yɛhwɛ yɛ appendix FM specifically na ɛkyerɛ sɛ saa akwadaa no wopɛ sɛ woyɛ application ɛma no a ɛsɛ sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ of course ɔyɛ under the age of 18 as well as the fact that the child is under the age of 18 no ɛsɛ sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ akwadaa no nso he or she is not living an independent life nti ɛnyɛ sɛ wafa ɔno ankasa no ho na ɔyɛ nneɛma bi te sɛ ebi a wakɔwo anaasɛ waware anaasɛ bibi saa. The person is clearly showing say or depending on the maame ne ne papa because ebi a ɔkɔ school bibi hia na ne maame ne ne papa ɛna obisa ɔmo nti saa akwadaa wei deɛ yɛntumi ɛnka sɛ they are living an independent life because ne maame ne ne papa ɛna ɛda so ɛhwɛ no biribiara mu ɔne ba ɔne kunu ɔne yere nti ɔno ankasa nnɔkora no ɔnhyɛ da fa adwuma bi a ɔreyɛ nti ohia ne maame ne ne papa na ɔmo atumi aboa no nkakrankra. Bibi saa no nso you have to also show say ampa awofoɔ no ebi a mmienu no ɛto UK kurom ha baako ɛwɔ limited leave to remain ɛna baako nso ɛyɛ the parent of akwadaa na yɛkɔfa no aba. There is also the scenario where ebia can say in terms of immigration rules no where the other parents which is ebia maame na anaasɛ papa no a ne ba no ɔkɔfa no aba no they are not the only parents but the other parents na ɔmo nim sɛ ɔyɛ akwadaa ne papa anaasɛ ne maame no ɔno no ɔnhyɛ da ɛnhwɛ akwadaa no nti deɛ ɔwɔ UK kurom ha no ɛsɛ sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ they have sole responsibility for akwadaa no nti in showing that you have sole responsibility no we often say ɛsɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ wo na woyɛ bibia ɛma akwadaa no including making important decisions regarding akwadaa no nti ebia ne school a wobɛkɔ no ɛsɛ sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ wo na wo choose saa school no nso nim o wo da bi anaasɛ abere biara wotumi kyɛke sɛnea akwadaa no ɔreyɛ ne performance ne biribiara mu ɔmo nim sɛ wo na wotua fees ɔmo nim sɛ wo na woyɛ awofo a woyɛ concerned about ne education nti ɛno no sa no wobɛtumi atwerɛ letter to confirm that fact. When it comes to ebia akwadaa no ne yaresabea nti in terms of ne health no sɛ ebia akwadaa no yare anaasɛ biribi saa no ɔmo nim sɛ da bia no wo na wobɛfrɛ ahwɛ sɛ akwadaa no yɛtumi ama no aduro anaasɛ ɔmo etumi ahwɛ no sɛnea akwadaa no ne ho bɛtɔ no nti hospital letters can also do in terms of things like this as well. And akrampo say, I mean, I heard one such situation about Obia Weja Nimba ama nadamfo na nadamfo enshada enhwe nkolano inti nkolano akɔhyɛ we sa we no cargo we dadeɛ container nim ɛna ɛhɔnom ɛna ɔmo da and so at one point krampo no police encountered them ɛka sɛ now mo fie a mobɛkɔ mo nkɔ mo fie and they often would come back and see them still there nti ɛkɔyɛ biribi a ɛsɛ ɔmo trɔ ɛto ɔmo records no so sɛ nkɔlaa wei da bi a ɔmo bɛto ɔmo ɛwɔ container no mu ɔmo ne biribi a ɔmo bɛda into container no mu and omoda. It's sad, but in such a case, obviously, you need to be able to show, say, there are compassionate and compelling grounds, which is the third reason the NCR person Colano eba. Into there are compassionate and compelling grounds, which means say in Colano, say omobeka onsa ewo UK chrome ha. Into first of all, you are making sure say over to me I share relationship between wo and your colano. Secondly, you have to be able to show say either say I will form ewo UK chrome ha with one having limited leave to remain. And now say awofoɔ no baako pɛ na ɛwɔ UK kurom ha ɛna ɔno nso ɛna ɔwɔ sole responsibility for akwadaa no. Anaasɛ ebia awofoɔ baako no ɛna ɛwɔ UK kurom ha, but there are compelling and compassionate reasons deɛ nti a ɛyɛ sɛ nkwadaa no ɔmo bɛka ɔmo maame anaasɛ ɔmo papa a ɔmo wɔ UK kurom ha. It's very, very important to be able to show one of these reasons. And then also, there will be a more friend or financial requirements and I say maintenance requirements. Nti ebia sɛ awofoɔ no mmienu baako kita limited leave to remain ɛna baako kita British citizenship anaasɛ indefinite na, then it means sɛ ɛsɛ ɔmo tumi kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo wɔ 29,000 annual income per year to be able to look after akwadaa no anaasɛ nkwadaa no sɛ ɔmo ba a. And usually by way of your pay slips, any or letter of employment, any or bank statements for the past 6 months, no, you are able to show say I am Mesika magic from a Juma 29,000 pounds there, then at least udimu. When it comes to ebia obia ɔno ankasa ɛkasa ɔwɔ so responsibility nti to say ɔwɔ kun anaa biribi saa to show sɛ ɔbɛtumi emiti saa 29,000 pounds income a year nti ɔno no ɔwɔ parent route no so ɛyɛ nkwadaa no nti ɛna ɔmode saa asetena no maa no nti ɔno nso pɛ sɛ ɔkɔfa akwadaa ana a ɔwɔ fie no ɛba a there's a maintenance requirement that they also have to meet. Ɛyɛ no no ɛyɛ sɛ ebia wowɔ kyerɛ sɛ ampa because nneɛma mu ayɛ den no menya benefits kakra ba mesan so yɛ adwuma kakra meyɛ adwuma kakra mesan so gye benefits kakra ɛna ɛno nkakra na mede hwɛ nkɔla yi nti mepɛ sɛ mekɔfa baako na ɔwɔ fie ɛbɛka wei mu ho. They want to know say ampa of course sɛ woka sɛ saa akwadaa na ɔwɔ fie no wona wohwɛ no ampa deɛ a ɛndeɛ wo income na wonya no ɛbɛtumi ahwɛ no deɛ a they would compare it to income support rates a yɛde ma maamefoɔ ne mpapafoɔ na ɔmo wɔ UK kurom ha. Nti sɛ ɔmo hwɛ wo income which is deɛ wonya firi adwuma mu ne benefits na ɔmo de ma wo a they want to know say so ɔmo yi rent ne council tax efiri mu a deɛ ɛbɛka no ɛbɛso saa income support rates na ɔmo de ma maamefoɔ ne mpapafoɔ a ɔmo wɔ kurom ha anaa. And most of the time they increase it every year. In some say for a dependent child each week, no, you should get about £83 a week. And now for obia single parents and answer lone parents, no, they expect say at least £114 a week. And so obviously if there are both parents within the home ebi omo kita 2.5 nibia, then they will expect that they will be receiving I think about £125 a week. And so they want to be able to make sure say ampa sikana woje no ebetumi aso saa income support rates with the number of children a okofa aba. And it's very important so obetumi akyerɛ saa adeɛ wei because if you are not able to meet one of these requirements, it is likely say they are likely to refuse it unless, like I said, there are compelling and compassionate reasons. And not there, they would have to now look at Gen 3.1 to be able to see, say, ebia, ebeye and unduly harsh for them to refuse the application based on your financial circumstances. And then they have a criteria almost share in terms of meeting their financial um, should I say maintenance requirements, and I say the financial requirements. So it's very key is that if there are any compelling and compassionate circumstances, you show as much evidence as possible. Senya, omonso ombe to me so I make a decision no along the right path. And also in terms of accommodation, also, so they expect say nkwalaa ne ba a anaasɛ akwalaa ne ba a ɔbɛnya baby ada. So you should have adequate accommodation and as a suitable accommodation a wobɛtumi aka sɛ akwalaa ne ba a ɛhanom ɛna ɔbɛda. Ebia wote 2 bedroom. Wo mba no a wowɔ ɛwɔ hanom no, they are two. Wo 2 bedroom no woda baako mu, nkwalaa two no nso da baako mu. um there's no third bedroom but living room into kasa wobɛtumi adane saa living room no into another bedroom into sɛ akwalaa ne ba a definitely no wobɛtumi anya saa facility ɛwɔ living room no na at least ɛhɔnom abɛyɛ ne bedroom ampa. If that is the case, then that's fine because they usually allow two people in a room of the same sex, and answer more our then the two people who are partners and answer our then they would also share one room as well. Usually they expect say each person will have their own room if they are above the age of 10. But Akoban say ABM you have ABA two girls, no, even though they're above the age of 10, no, okay, say because of my ban they have one room. In say no no that is permitted. Say I am bema mienu so a obeka say oh me on bema mienu they are above the age of 10 but almost share them back on no no that is adequate enough for them. Nti ebia mekofa akola baako akaka me ho a then I will need just what the one extra room. Of course say okofa nkola two and I said three then the number of rooms have to increase as well. And so it's very important say at least over to me actually say you are meeting the requirements under the Housing Act of 1998 in order to be able to be granted the visa, and also as well as meeting the accommodation requirements, the financial and asset maintenance requirements. No, yeah, well, tuberculosis certificate. So where you're from Crawford, if they are almost free a croix, they are more likely to be at risk of um attracting or let's say getting the tuberculosis virus. Nti ɛno no sa no ɛyɛ sɛ wokɔyɛ test na ɔmohwɛ wo minimum wo inside ɛhwɛ sɛ ampa wonni saa yareɛ no anaa. Nti ɛno nso saa no ɔmo wɔ ɔmo own approved center ɛwɔ Ghana a ɔmoyɛ no wɔ, and they want to make sure that you get a copy or you get a certified tuberculosis medical certificate. Like I say, you do not have the tuberculosis virus within you. And I know say usually no, and no is valid for 6 months. It's after 6 months, no, and no so ewu. So hopefully within the time I obey our tuberculosis test no now to me edible application no atum na at least de mboaeɛ ba na wode ɛno nso akyerɛ nipa no a ɔbɛhwɛ wo documents no ɛwɔ airport. It's very very important sɛ woyɛ sɛ application where you are able to show that as much as possible no wowɔ the right documentation for each of the requirements, because ɛkurom ha debi ameka sɛ ɔmo make a decision a it is based on wo documents and answer wo evidence na
Evidence.
wobɛnya no. Yes. Nti ɛnyɛ sɛ wode w'ano kɛkɛ ɛɛka. You have to have the required evidence.
Mm,
I know say when it comes to these applications, they don't intentionally list it on the application. Ebimu are very reliant on the listed documents, no,
mm,
on the application. Sometimes they might not even mention it on the checklist. So if
mm,
you are just going by their checklist, no so pair, then you might be missing out some very key
Something.
or vital documents.
Mm.
Nti, bibi to say birth certificate when you have years after.
Mhm.
We say no, we would just advise you as a legal representative just to do a DNA to confirm say
Mm.
it is not something that's fake. It's actually your child and say no ever. And in terms of meeting the requirements, whether it is mumienu and amoya for ewo UK Chrome ha and now say muba coupe and amoya for mupe say mode akwala no ba because you have sole responsibility. And now
Mm.
Chrome say in terms of the third scenario, there are serious and compelling circumstances into who here past there akwala no beka wansano is very key, it's very important. So we to me actually said these are the circumstances, whether it be a parent back away from now the death certificate and I say BB to show say I'm part with from and I say your mema scenario police reports wɔ hɔ a ɛkyerɛ sɛ nkwadaa no nneɛma nkɔ yie ɛma wɔn koraa nti ho hia paa sɛ wɔn nsa bɛka wɔn maame anaasɛ wɔn papa wɔ kurom ha. Those kind of evidences will go a long way to help the caseworker make a decision.
Yeah.
Um, we also have, I mean, paragraph 9297 and 298, paragraph 300 and 301 as well.
Mm.
And there are other paragraphs that have to do with making an application for a child to join Omo parents.
Mm.
And those are in relation to either say ebia awofo no ewo indefinite leave and I say limited leave to remain. And if for instance nipa na okofa ne ba na aba no or no kita limited leave to remain under your EU settlement scheme and answer okita pre-settled status under your EU settlement scheme there, most of the time you can bring that person under the EU settlement scheme if only you can show say oh akwala before 31st December 2020. Scientists are there, then it means that you have to be able to bring them under your immigration rules.
Roots.
In
No. Oh.
yes, nti ɛno no saa no na wohu mmaranimfoɔ na wɔatumi ayɛ application no under the correct paragraph of the immigration rules sɛnea wo nso wobɛtumi nso anya akwangyia de aba.
Atlanta.
So yes, yes. So it's very important. Say at least say wodwen say ɛbɛyɛ difficult ama wo ayɛ saa application no deɛ na watumi ehu mmaranimfoɔ ne wɔmatumi aboa wo with the application. Nti ma yɛnkyɛ no wɔ ha
Yeah,
na
yes. Mama wakasa akyɛ. Wayɛ adeɛ ankasa ankasa. Wei deɛ, meti lecture room a sɛnea wa listing ama me no. Na yɛbisa wo such a question and you're able to list all this. There is no way they shouldn't give it 100% because wobɔ ne nyinaa wobɛsi dito. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now, yɛnhwɛ. However, I've got few questions based on the scenarios that governs some of the evidence documentations now so use now the man nti yɛnhwɛ baako bi a wokaeɛ a na meyɛ interested the law no saa sole responsibility when they introduced the sole responsibility it became like wobɛsi shrine bi ɛma nkurɔfoɔ ɛbɛyɛ biribi huhuhu bi because obiara kɔfa akwalaa de aba a it doesn't even matter whether it's limited leave or unlimited leave or whatever. The actual thing, the sole responsibility. Ɛbɛyɛ nom. Even the skill workers, ɛbɛba abɛgu kurom ha bebrebe nyinaa. Obiara kɔfa ne ba aba. Yɛsi sole responsibility. Nti, when it comes to sole responsibility now, ɛyɛ ana ɛtumi ɛkye nkurɔfoɔ adwen papapapa na ɔmo nhu the right way to provide evidence to show so responsibility. And now, what church and what wobble see, you better see. Man, what question back could be a tarot. I don't know if it will fall under a compel serious and compelling circumstance. Meaning say falling. Yes, this woman has on any husband on okrom ha or limited leave to remain like just the topic that we are treating today. Na ne kunu nso wɔ Ghana. Na ne kunu ne hwɛ akwalaa no all right nti ɔsɛn ne sika de kɔ just to help the house. Na ne kunu no nhyɛ da nni edwuma etumi de in enough income ɛbɛ fie nti ɔno na ɔsupport just to support the child ne school a ɔkɔ ne ade. Na wei na yɛka ne sɛn akwalaa no papa no abɛyare serious a ɔda hospital nti ama akwalaa na ne hwɛ mu no ɛnɛ yɛde ne kɔma yɛka ne sɛn aunty wei a na ɔkyena yɛde no akɔma uncle wei ɔkyena yɛde no akɔma sister wei all because sɛ papa ne da hospital a ɔnkɔɔ coma but kyerɛ sɛ wayɛ nea ɛwɔ hɔ a wada hɔ almost 3 months. Enti yɛbisa biribi sei no wobɛtumi agye hospital report ɛkyerɛ sɛ papa no a ɔboa wo ma wohwɛ akwalaa no ɔda hospital ne hospital document ɛkyerɛ sɛ wabɛda hɔ almost 3 months ɛna afei nso no akwalaa no ɔda hospital no school no nso bɛtumi attestify sɛ ampa ne papa a ɔhwɛ no no da hospital however no ɛyɛ a na ne aunty bi na ne bɛ school ɔkyena na ne uncle bi di n'aba ɔkyena akyi na ne sister bi di n'aba ne ade wonya this document no can it fall under serious and compelling circumstances na wobɛtumi use such report ne nso especially from the hospital no to show say because of this papa na ɔboa me yɛhwɛ akwalaa no ɔda ayaresabea nti mpɛ sɛ akwalaa me menkɔfa no ɛmbɛka me ho na yɛnhwɛ no wɔ ha ɛmbia na papa no ɔne ne nni hɔ biom ɛmbia na because sɛ waba ha no wabɛware obi foforɔ mpo memfa ne saa it could be anything but you are still having limited leave or you still have limited leave to remain in the UK mpatwɔ ɛbɛtumi follow and with these documents no ɛbɛtumi hold ɛbɛyɛ strong evidence to show say a serious and compelling circumstance ana.
But that's a reminder too. I think so. This is very, very crucial in terms of making uh, applications for children joining you in the UK.
Mm,
When it comes to the fact that ebia akolano awofo bako ewo fie ne the fact say awofo bako ewo UK krom ha,
mhm,
if sometimes they are even refusing no metro say say na wo for wo fie wo
mm,
na wo mane ne sika a obetumi ahwa nkwala no nti ade nti na onko so a enhwe nkwala no e wo Ghana
mm,
nti bibisa no they expect you to show say ampa abeto wo so say wo
mm,
na wo sa so responsibility.
mm,
Yes, of course, Papa no ewo hospital, but what shows that the father cannot leave the hospital in the next week to continue caring for Nkolano? Medical evidence no, say
mm,
Akolano, I mean Papa no, ne yareɛ no such that there is no time frame that we can give say ebia no ho bɛtɔ no in a month's time and
mm,
anaasɛ no ho bɛtɔ no in 2 months time and anaasɛ no ho bɛtɔ no in 6 months time
mm,
nti akɔba ne say no there are other symptoms that he is ebia showing ebia he is not mobile so we have to
mm.
put catheter on him
Okay.
ebia n'ani no ɛnhyɛ da ɛnhu adeɛ yie
Mm,
nti he's not going to be able to move around by himself.
mm.
Ebia there is something going on in the brain and is
Wei no
affecting.
ne nyinaa bɛwɔ report ne mo right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Mhm,
yes. It has to have a very detailed report to show say this is what is wrong with the person.
mm,
These are the symptoms that the person is currently facing. This is the treatments the person is receiving, or this is the medication they are currently receiving. You want
mm,
to be able to show say, "Hey, bia onto me nanti and answer onto me yeshria." That is also shown and then there are also evidences to show say ebia nipa koro no obehia care or
mm,
he will need the support of somebody else to be able to get things moving again into
mm,
any idea obetumi ahwe nkola no. So it has to be very very detailed and saying that there is no way that this person can continue to care for the child in the state that they are in. And see, that report has to
Mm,
be from somebody who really knows their job and who can actually give a proper assessment of
mm.
how this person is doing
Oh,
at the moment and the future prognosis of that person as well. And so, yes, you will need medical evidence, and then you can also add saying what kind of letters from the school and other people who also take the children to school. And
mm.
see, and also sign on so ebeboa.
Give it to me. Okay, and then obi abaso bampacho mami 1 minute why ne say wo ka TB nso for akwala na akwala MBA uja no MBA fe no wenya 8 years under 10 years do they also require TB test minim say MBA teens ni mo MBA wenya 14 15 16 going but because we are talking below 18
Yeah.
akwala wo under 10 years and so here TB test no.
Usually, I know said the TB companies will also have their way of checking these things, but under your immigration rules, there's nothing like, oh, because they are under 10, so they don't need to take the
Okay.
test. Yes,
Mm,
but I know that the tuberculosis companies will have their own policies in regards to who can take the test and who cannot
right.
take the test as
Mm.
well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yo, me reserve one of my question. Na me ma a for ni ahwefo who say maybe a telephone lines no obe to me afre 0208 123 1016. Obe to me afre no na also obe to me afre another one 07399208468 wobɛtumi afrɛ no sɛ baabi a wowɔ no ayɛmbia wontumi nkasa anaasɛ ɔsɛ wokɔtetɛ na wofrɛ a wobɛtumi agya voice note on WhatsApp only voice note na woagya note no fɛfɛɛfɛ ɛwɔ 0759662054 wobɛtumi agya ɛno na yɛbɛtie na lawyer ama wo mmuayɛ. Sisi a menya ɔdɔfoɔ edi kan wɔ ahoma no so. Mpakyɛ wokasa free na ma yɛnte wo nka.
Yeah, good morning, Michelle Mumina.
Good morning.
My question is, Abofra, what be joining? Say, let's say, me,
Mhm,
ha, na
mhm,
yeah, money 2.5. Yeah,
mhm,
man, anyway, the 18.
mhm,
Now, after all, what call for the renewal, the
mhm,
second part of the 2.5.
mhm,
Now, prior to so, our coin, wakotina, let's say, wakotina Ghana for about 9 months or 10 months
mm,
before I know about back, a month or so, no about back to UK. Now about be renew. Now the question is Oko Ghana no one could because say be or school and say be for medical reason.
mm,
Just by now finding difficult say or be adjust to the system here.
mm,
Now since here with the over 18 years I can let's say a month or 2 months, nani when it will not renew
mhm.
on this instance or situation, what will be the likely outcome? And is there anything over to me? I saw Yana. Thank you.
Na akwara na ɔda so wɔ Ghana na waba.
Waba.
Waba. Ba ɔkɔdii 9
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, I think 10 months. Let's say 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
Yo, la Eunice, akwala yi
Yeah.
a wakodi 10 months or what 2.5 yi so wakodi 10 months. Is your person renew echo the next 2.5 no. 9 months abstain from UK no. Ebe to me I affect the application. Pacho is okay na ka say wa.
I know.
Yeah, pacho ebe to me affect the application in any way.
I mean, when it comes to travel, Lydia, they will usually ask you whether you've traveled out of the country
Mm,
within your application, Nankasa, and they
mm,
would ask you why you had to travel.
mm,
You have to put that reason there for why you had to travel. When it comes to the immigration rules, one of the things that I mentioned, ASA, the child has to be under 18. If
mm,
the child was, I mean, is now above the age of 18, no more year or more extension, they want to still see swear Akolano, although they are over the age of 18, they are not living an independent life.
mm,
So the question is this child living an independent life? Or no kasa na dia onhia ne mame anasa ne papa. Ebia or ye juma into no kasa betumi ahwe ne ho. Anase ebia waware nti ono kasa na die wawo or ye na die. They want to know for that period of time, what were you doing? And if you are saying that you are not living an independent life, then why did you have to go for so long? And if
Mm.
you were not well, then you have to provide evidence say na bia meyare into me I'm back because now me the hospital 6 months into after na me ho atomi a me drew UK kurom ha. Into BB Sano, you have to be able to show the reason the NCR you have to go.
Okay. Say
But
obi na pick obi ama or the noise. But say wa answer na ewie wa ho. Ana
catch
nka
into I was just going to finalize and say he has to be very careful and then say so oh who in renew for the extension and not oh my yes sir. Yeah.
ama no. Absent long time ni there you have to explain the entire. Bi kra na wo she prison and they would like to know.
Mm.
Other for wa ho good morning. Emma awakwa aba. Pacho wo kasa frame me ente onka.
Good morning, Kasafri Salford Manati. Good morning, Lawyer
Good
Eunice.
morning. Good morning.
Okay. Pacho, my question is a strange Makakama, but person who look say, Obi were to 10 years route,
Mhm.
but 10 years route, no, or the neighbor, and a year.
Mhm.
After the first 2.5, no, the lawyer application, man,
Mhm.
and my man, 5 years route straight.
Mhm.
Which no na ɛyɛ m'adwene mu na kakra because menim sɛ sɛ ɔkɔ no tot 2.5 no ɛna mpɛ sɛ mebisa lawyer Eunice sɛ ɛkwanya bi wɔ hɔ a obi tumi switch although ɔne maame no koraa ɛnni hɔ ɔmo nte mu ɔmo nwareyɛ so nti ɛno na ɛma mehu ama m'adwene mu ayɛ me na mpɛ sɛ mebisa sɛ akwanya bi wɔ hɔ saa a yɛtumi switch kɔ 5 years straight away than say obeying 2.5.
Mm.
Okay, I think some of your education crown for so our topic we hold that switching from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. In see, of course, say parents route no so ebia only mama ne end say but to push akola na yeah the 2.5 no ma on the 10-year route no so of course over to me as switch akọ.
Oh, I'm saying technical issues kakra. Nti no meyenko the next person any after that no lawyer be ma wo but say yen internet na e freeze kakra after that no me wo Rebecca Moako ono nso aka say I wanted to ask that if my son comes here to read a postgraduate course for a year, can he gain citizenship through marriage? Ooh. So you can saying as no student visa route no and as no way into so a postgraduate na wagye saa extension ne bia I'm say postgraduate for crowd more some advantage lawyer is where be you one anyway don't let me insinuate something that me wrong but minim say ware deɛ waware obi na you were not illegal but waware no na ode na wo na of course the amount 5 years and now 2.5 definitely should lead to citizen and indefinite unya indefinite so dia obetumi aye citizenship nti no but layin is ba be ma wo moaye don't worry Rebecca ba be ma wo moaye sisia enche yenhwe se we ne de no aye sorry, are you okay now? Answer yen. Yo, other for one, my super to me till your froze and our casa frame our quaba a bedroom so. Hello, good morning. Patoma quaba eba fidine so. Oh, I'm say a dear no atiko. Yay, yeah, near tenya such problems, but I'm hoping say it will be fixed in no time. To be fixed in no time. Pachawa unama endi 823 no mapeke ukono o kasa frame yente unka. Okay, I don't know if the system is down. Yeah, hello odofo awa homa so pacha o kasa frame yente unka.
Hello, I say good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Pastor, me some point to my name about.
Okay.
Pastor, the skills work and now by as dependent. In 2023, and our year no go yet.
Okay.
And I'll call foul. But you see, I win but or a British name. But you see, I'm only guy no so any but guy not the British book I'm a falan. But last month, and last year, all year a visa no. Come so no officially say or you're dependent. Nti sisi no officially say or you're dependent no because our really long time but we man notify home office. Sisi or your e-visa no or your dependent. Sisi no visa no a dependent visa. Nti this time so they offer akwala no as switch akwala no and affection na because we try say 2024 no or you're dependent on sa ni kunu dada no. Nti me question no.
Okay. So lawyer Eunice so mo line cut koye. We a technical kakanti say lawyers na the bit to me no I don't know say to me aba having issues here but then say oba obetumi ama omwaye ama wenya answer no na okoye dependent no said na the dependent okunu na one ne ba no weja no dada.
Pastor.
And I was see British no ne call we no mo ware ano mo anware just on ne wo ye.
They don't worry, for just girlfriend.
And on ne wo ye.
Ah, yeah.
Nti osan ma akwala no. And akwala na nya British book. But ne wadamfo na na unu aba no. Ogina akwala ne so dia ya application bi pen ana.
The ankasisia no person switch from the former way to akwala, but okay say in 2022 e-visa no omo man say onye e-visa no omo choice or dependent.
Or why dependent na ansa no owa akwala no.
Debbie or dependent before be wa akwala no.
Matie no ase ba oye ni e-visa no. So we can say last year no omoma na kwenya so nye e-visa.
Mpatran.
Enti me bisa say that time no na wa wo akwala ne dada.
I know wa akwala no dada.
Okay. Okay. Eunice, minim say when na ye year nya 2 questions. I think 3 kra na ye mom mwaye na afede. Ye nkoye nim. Hold on 1 second, mommy. Why me? But say yen way no still a freezy.
Imagine.
See a freezy into no. Minji questions no. And to na. Okay, let's go for a commercial break. I'll be back in a minute.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specializing in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Yo, it's for national for better mass cinema botra when my na there are a few hitches and here and there, but yeah, bano we have few minutes and chibia but share questions na me betu bia na me sem bisa Eunice na yenua ba Rebecca Amwako ebisa say I wanted to ask that if my son comes here to read a postgraduate course for a year, can he gain citizenship through marriage? And no na obisa possible sir. After a while we postgraduate no na or warrior obetumi enya citizenship through that na me chire mo say citizenship there this a when you're indefinite nti whatever he does no so warrior na ye man number of years na edu so na okoye indefinite ne nkwa na ye dia obetumi agina so de nya citizenship no, but I don't know say me no ye no legal ebia na mo ni saying technical nti no pa chobeti ane mwaye na yenua bema nso bebisa another question mindim say odaso wo so a the question is say
Me that's what me that's what.
oh okay and you always say bisa o question ni biom na because first one lawyer Eunice nti lawyer Eunice my way Rebecca de no na afi de wansa me nua be man nso.
Okay. In terms of Rebecca, no, I think say the question no has to do with a whole process. In see before Obenya British citizenship no from Obano, he has to go through a process. Currently, he is on the graduate route. In see graduate routes not lead to settlement and answer indefinite leave to remain. In see she would obviously need to. I mean, he would obviously need to switch from the graduate route and apply for leave to remain under Appendix F. A partner will be a British. Into say or switch it and also as a partner and I say a crew some British they are only 2.5 because of our sitting on it, he has to be able to meet all the requirements of the 5 year into he has been able to meet the 5 year route, then they will grant him 2.5 or 5 year. Obesan yeah another you on meet all the requirements.
Say lawyer Eunice ni voice no baba se minya kakra wo mu a Rebecca se wutie ya on to me or say o free graduate route ne so no call ni o kan say family route ne so because wakwa akoware nso o ware ne ya ye be ma no 2.5 na ichire so 2.5 ne wi a na but it will be based on the family route not on the graduate route ne so na affair sama no 2.5 biom and of course unya 2.5 5 years na minim say family route na just say 10 years and na say 5 years say 5 years there and after the 5th year no obetumi apply for indefinite but say 10 years route na ye be mana after the 10th year no be apply for indefinite unya with indefinite ni wi a ansa na obetumi apply for citizenship line is me try na
Well,
me
yeah, dear family.
nti Rebecca wotie ya yo afei me nua bema bi bisa question bi em so bi aye nti wo so asem bi se biom na lawyer Eunice nti na me nya ne wrong ama
But
mhm
but you know, good morning. But my question here is Me know baby now this skilled worker by as dependent.
Or the
You see, at the
dear
end of the day,
or the skilled worker route nearby as dependent. But say Odin Fiersen or Oja Nikuno.
I'm say 1 year.
Odi 1 year dependent route ne so na Oja Nikunu no kofa obroni bi. Na obroni ne nyine ene ne nyinseye. Nti no
Yeah.
obroni ne ye British na ogina obroni ne so edege British citizen ema ne baba ema no ne baba o ne baba ema sisia no ono ne de ne 3 years na so o so ko renew okwa renew no ye ne yi visa no okoye no still oye ne dependent meanwhile bema na oni ne di kan ba no oni ne ni ho bio nti obisa say den de besi ana anya sa
And no, that be because a person switch to akwala no.
Opeso
Nti
switch kwa
akwala no
akwala no
British.
good sisi asa akwala no wo
But
British citizen nti opeso switch
last
free ni dependent no ekwa akwala meanwhile wa throw dependent e won yi visa so nti how is that going to affect the new application opeso ye based
application
on
now
akwala
over.
no
I know,
Okay.
hmm.
Okay. So I think said the question is because or yeah dependent on another visa route, so would that create any in this new application? Said Sana, it's here.
Also die no
Aye,
but
aye.
one inform home office say we die we divorce so
Okay. So usually when you're making an application, they always ask about um family life. Either say you're married or you're separated or you're unmarried partner or whatever it is. If that is the case, you can always add your divorce certificate. Say oh okay say when independent age idea, then you put the divorced divorce certificate, when the back home I'm a who say you are divorced, but now you are making this application based on Oba Abia you no 6 months into Oba na ya no or you're British in the passport in the British and also into there in terms of relationship and answer the fact that you were previously a dependent, most applications within the UK they will always ask about your relationship, your current relationship status, and then they will even evidence of marriage certificate and that's with divorce certificate. And if you are able to provide that, then they are able to say, okay, infant way I want to buy any hobby. They even go to the extent of asking, do you have any previous home office reference that also helps them be able to go back into their records to be able to see um their whatever you can from Hannah over to me as circumstances in so with, like them looking for circumstances all the or
oh I didn't break you, but em say ukasa etwitwa se inte no dodo am so no I will advise say me picky obi akọ because like Eunice ni transmission no we struggling to actually hear complete message na
Yeah.
all kano. So I would rather invite our dear lawyer lawyer Annie number summarize today's topic na bring it to a halt. We hope say next week we'll change the system and you can all get the opportunity to ask your questions. So I really do apologize for this short notice. Miss Remo, me picky calls BABO. And lawyer Annie Pacho, can you give us the summary for today's program?
Yes, so good morning to our viewers and listeners, and happy Friday to you all. So, the topic for today was, can my child join me in the UK if I have limited leave to remain? So, to provide an example, someone can be in the UK and they can have limited leave based on their partner, who can either be British or have indefinite leave. Or the person can be here on the parent route, again, based on a child who's either British or has indefinite leave to remain. So in that case, the parent or the partner, they can submit an application to bring their child from outside of the UK into the UK if they meet all of the requirements. So first of all, the person would have to make sure that they are bringing their child into the UK. So a child is anyone who is between the age of 0 and 17. So the person has to be below the age of 18, first of all, and then they would have to provide relationship evidence as well to show that they are the parent of that child. So what would suffice is a birth certificate. However, as Lawyer Eunice said, if let's say the child is now 17 and their birth was registered perhaps not at the time that they were born, this can create some problems because the Home Office will question the authenticity of that document. So in that case, you could provide further relationship evidence, such as maybe a baptismal certificate, which would bear the parent's name, or any antenatal reports as well, which bear the parent's name, or even DNA evidence. However, DNA is not a requirement, but in certain circumstances, it will help, especially if, as I said, the DNA evidence was registered years after the child was born. You also would have to make sure that the child is not living an independent life, which means that the child should not be married, they shouldn't be married, they shouldn't be in a civil partnership, and they should continue to depend on their parents. And if the parent here in the UK has sole responsibility, or they are the only parent in the child's life, in that case, the parent here would have to prove that. So they would have to obtain letters from the child's, let's say, GP. Let's say the child is based in Ghana or Nigeria, Sierra Leone, wherever the child is based. The parent would have to obtain letters from the child's GP, school, church, or mosque to confirm that, in their professional opinion, the parent here is the only parent involved in the child's life, because the parent calls those institutions to find out how the child is faring, their spiritual growth, and that they give their consent to any, let's say, medical procedures. And then there's also a maintenance requirement. So if the parent here in the UK, let's say it's here on the parent route, then they would have to show that they meet the maintenance requirements. So their income would be compared to the income support rates. So the Home Office or the caseworker will look at their income that they receive, and they will take away their rent and any council tax expenses that they have, and the money that is left over should be equal to the income that a parent would receive who is on benefits. So that is very important to note. And then there's also an accommodation requirement, whereby the parents here in the UK would have to make sure that there is no overcrowding under Part X of the Housing Act 1985. So as Lawyer Eunice said, if the parent here in the UK lives in a 3 or 2 bedroom property, they can also rely on a hall. So a hall can classify as a bedroom. They just have to make sure that, so with the immigration rules, if people are over the age of 10 and they are of different genders, they're not allowed to sleep together in the same room. So if the parent is inviting, let's say, a girl, a daughter to the UK, and the parent already has a daughter here in the UK, and let's say they're under the age of 10, then they can live together. That wouldn't be a problem. But you just have to make sure that there is no overcrowding, as that sometimes is a reason for refusal. And then there is also a requirement, depending on where the child is coming from, what country the child lives in, the child might have to undertake a tuberculosis test, and they might have to provide that as part of the application. And in certain circumstances, if the parent here in the UK does not meet all the requirements, if it would be unduly harsh, if the refusal of the application would be unduly harsh for them, in certain circumstances, the application can still be successful, based on compassionate and compelling circumstances. So that is just a quick summary for today, and I hope this helps someone. Thank you very much.
Um, Thank you very much, Lawyer Annie. And I'm say, aha, na did me dear baby. Lawyer Eunice, where the member won't cast you because we no. So me and my the ending note no it's if for na for you better obi biara say munya adaje munya mre na muni embe esua kakra ene Lawyer Eunice edibetu dwa say can my child join me in the UK if I have limited leave to remain. Wakyerɛkyerɛ mu yie sɛ ampa wobɛtumi de akwadaa no aba na mmom wobɛhia nneɛma bi nneɛma no ɔkyerɛkyerɛ no nyinaa mu nti yɛnhyɛ ne nso. If anyway wopɛ sɛ wotu anamo wɔ saa topic yi saa dwumadie sɛ wode wo ba bɛba a wobɛtumi aconsult lawyers no wobɛtumi afrɛ lawyer Eunice ɛwɔ ne number ne so ɛyɛ 07 wobɛtumi adi ka frɛ office ɔlɔ a ɛne so na mes na nhyɛ da ne metim nti fa kyɛ me na anaasɛ any of the lawyers in their premises no na ɔntumi mboa wɔ saa adeɛ wei ho ahia paa still a wobɛtumi de wo ma no aba sɛ wowɔ limited leave to remain nneɔma kakra bi pɛ na ɔsɛ ɔtoto no yie na ɔntumi nyɛ nti no yɛde dwumadie no bɛba ewie nyame yɛ adom ɔkyena the community and the law ɛbɛba so me nua bɛma wobɛkɔ firi mpɔn bɛdi mu ɔkyea me na they have topics a megye di sɛ ɛda nkurɔfoɔ akoma so ɛhia answers ɛwɔ ho nti bɔ mmɔden ana make a date with us from 4 o'clock sharp tomorrow Saturday 1st of March na ɛnkɔdu 6 o'clock 2 hours na ɔmbɛkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma de bebree mu ama woanya nte aseɛ sɛ wopɛ lawyers papa na ɔmo ayɛ asɛm ayɛ application de ama wo na wontumi a bɔ mmɔden akɔ BWF Solicitors for ɔmbɛtumi aboa wo kwan biara so wode asɛm no nkɔma ɔmo nko ade a nye hu no sɛ w'asɛm no woadi nkonim nyame nka yɛn nyinaa ho next week dasɛnɛ yɛbɛsɛ hyia ebia ne manyɛti have a nice weekend and a lovely one. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.